everyone, it's Kristie here from Capri Creatives with another video for two scrapbook friends. I'm going to be using the Echo Park Little Lumberjack collection pack today. I've had this collection pack for a while and I've been using it more recently to make some birthday cards, and today I'm going to use it to make a Father's Day card. My dad is a very woodsy, outdoorsy person, and I thought this card would fit his personality great to celebrate Father's Day. So we're going to be using some papers from that kit, as well as a corner round punch, and then we've got some Neenah Solar White Classic Crest for our card base and our standard tools. I will pop that sheet up at the end of the video so you can take a screenshot if you would like to make this project on your own. We're also going to make a coordinating envelope. That's one of the reasons why I really like to use collection packs to make cards. I don't know if you can tell, but my my envelope punch board, I've used it quite a bit in the last year, and so the punch isn't quite sitting properly. So I actually have a new one in my next order from two scrapbook friends because they just got a new bunch of these in stock. So if this is something you're interested in, head on over to the website and add that to your cart for your next purchase. So I have a corner rounder. This one I've had for years. This is from the Becky Higgins Project Lifeline. Any corner rounder you have will do. And in fact, there's actually a corner rounder on that envelope punch. So you kind of get two tools in one. So this little lumberjack kit, great selection of paper if you like wood grains, plaids. I love the rich red, the brown, the black, the sayings. It's a really great to use the word of the day at Two Scrapbook Friends. It's versatile. So you can have a lot of fun working with this, whether you are scrapbooking or you are making cards. So lots of different options. So today I have cut a piece of this great wood grain paper, which is 4 inches across and 5 1/4 inches tall. And that's going to fit on top of our A2 card base with an 1/8 of an inch margin all the way around. So I've got my piece of Neenah Solar White Classic Crest in the 110-pound weight. I've cut and scored this, so this is all ready for a nice heavy-duty card base for our project. And then I've cut out of the Little Lumberjack collection kit, I've cut out this piece of coordinating cardstock. I love this plaid. It's also got the fun axes on the background. So this is what we're going to use to make our envelope when we get to that part of the program. So this is a really simple card that we're going to put together today. This is the sticker sheet that comes in the Little Lumberjack collection kit. And I want to use this large sticker here, so Be Brave, the Real Woodsman Hard Work, Chopping Oaks and Pines of the Wild Forest. And because this sticker has the rounded corner, I wanted to make sure I was rounding the corner of part of my panel. So I'm just going to go around here and chop off these corners. And again, any corner rounder tool that you have will work. So we've got that rounded, fantastic. I'm gonna put some adhesive on the back, and this is going to adhere right to our card front. So you're just gonna move this sheet out of the way so we can see on the grid here. Bring in the card base, and I'm just gonna grab my ruler to make sure we're going to have that even 1/8 of an inch margin all the way around. So I'm taking my Creative Grids ruler from my sewing kit, and I'm just coming in 1/8 of an inch from the left. And I guess this doesn't really matter which way it goes, but then I can tell I am 1/8 of an inch from the top and the bottom, and it looks like I need to come a little bit more over onto the left. Let's see, that looks great. So press that down with confidence. I really love that Creative Grids ruler just to give me comfort that I am getting things straight on my card base. It is a great tool to have handy. So again, I'm going to take this big sticker and we're going to use that in the center of our card, but I would like to have a few embellishments around on each, well, on two of the corners actually. So that's what I'm thinking. But as I look at the sticker sheet, let's see here. I'm just going to put this back in here because I'm not going to use it right this second. I really like this banner. Okay, let's see. Some designing on the fly here. Let's see how this looks. I think if we change this up just a little bit, have that bunting line there, and move this larger sentiment down into this corner. And then I could put a couple of flags on that side and actually pop this up on the card. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So thanks for bearing with me through through that on the fly design piece. So we're just going to get this set up, and I'm actually going to take it to the edge, right to the edge of the card itself. That's kind of fun sometimes when you bleed things off the edge of your card. So I can just very quickly take my scissors and chop off that little piece of the sticker that was sticking up there. And I'm going to grab my foam tape to put on the back of this larger, I'm calling it a sentiment. It's it's a bit bigger than a sentiment, but the focal point, I guess, is the better term for what this is adding to our card. So we'll get two pieces of foam tape on here, so this will be nice and supported. Take our release paper off. And then I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue onto the back of the release paper, just so we have a little bit of wiggle room. I learned this from Kathy Zielski originally in her videos, and it is such a helpful tip to have that wiggle room and playtime on your project. So I'm going to bring in the ruler again. And let's go 1/4 inch. So I'm measuring 1/4 inch in from this right side, and I'm going to go 1/4 inch from the bottom. And I'm measuring that from the wood grain paper, not the white card base. And that will give us some nice placement that's an even space from the bottom and even space from that side. Oh, that looks great. So I'm really, yeah, I'm glad I used that the little piece of garland here. That turned out really cool. So let's see what else we might be able to use from this sticker sheet. I don't want to make it too busy, but I wonder, just something down in this corner maybe. Let's see these arrows. How does that look? No, not loving that. How about the star? Yeah, that's great. So I'm just going to take the star off. I'm going to put a little bit of foam tape on the back of it because it's sticking out just a bit past that red, the red focal point. So let's just, I already had a piece of foam tape from another project that was cut really tiny. So I'm just going to use that and cut some super tiny pieces. If you do not want to do this and popping things up is not your thing, that is totally okay. You would have been, this would look great if you adhered this right to your card panel. So, you know, adhering and adding dimension is not a must. This is just adding a little bit of additional detail to the project. So I just need one more teeny tiny piece of the foam tape for the other edge of this star. And this should have us able to pop this right down. Once I get this really stubborn piece of release paper off of the foam tape. Oh my goodness, this one really was stuck on there. All the sap from all of these trees in this collection. Okay, so we're getting this on to our card front, and again we've got that nice and supported with the foam tape on the pieces of the star, so that's great. So I'm keeping this card really simple, so I am going to leave it at this for the card. And again, this is for Father's Day, so I want it to kind of speak for my dad's personality, and I think this is really great, and I think he will love it. So next I'm going to bring in our envelope punch board, and we're going to make a custom envelope with this gorgeous plaid print from the Little Lumberjack collection kit. So one thing to keep in mind when you're making envelopes is the standard A2 size envelope. I find if you've added dimension to your project, it can be a little bit snug. So I like to make the next size on the envelope punch board. And so that's 4.5 by 6, which will be the finished size of our envelope. And that means we have to start with a piece of paper that's 8.5 by 8.5. And our first score line is at 3 3/4. So this is the most standard size envelope that I make. So I have a piece of purple tape at the 3 3/4 mark already, so that I know exactly where I need to line my paper up. So the way this works, if you've never used an envelope punch board, and again, this is popped up a little bit. You might not be able to tell in the video, but it's not sticking in there as well as it should. I've worked this pretty hard over the last year in making custom envelopes. So I do need a new one, because it's not quite sitting in there as it's intended. So what you do is you line up at the 3 3/4, and you can see there is the line for scoring down at this edge of the board. So you're going to punch first, then you're going to go along that score line, make a nice groove. You're going to rotate your paper counterclockwise, and here's the trick. On that turn, you do not line up at 3 3/4. You line up the point of this punch to the line you just scored. So I know it might be hard to see in the video, but the score line is right here. It's lined up perfectly with that point. I'm going to punch and score again. We're going to rotate counterclockwise, line up the point with our score line. This one does add up to 3 3/4, or lines up with 3 3/4. We're going to score. And one last time, actually, I'm just going to score that again. I didn't get quite to the edge there. There we go. Rotate counterclockwise one more time, line up with the score line, punch, and score. Then what you want to do is take the long side flaps and put this in the other side of the punch, and it's going to round the corners. Now you can also use your corner rounder punch that we used earlier, whatever you have handy. These two corners on the short sides, you're not going to be able to see these in the finished envelope, so don't worry about rounding the corner on those. And we'll just take our little pieces that were punched out and get rid of those. So now we're going to fold in along the score lines that we just made. I am using the Teflon bone folder, which if you are a card maker and you're making your card bases, or you have any interest in making envelopes, the Teflon bone folder is an excellent investment. It really does make a difference in your projects, and it's a fantastic tool to have in your collection for lots of scoring. To put the envelope together, I'm going to use some score tape. This is 1/4 inch score tape. Really easy to use because you can just rip it with your fingers. So this axe pattern, I guess it sort of has a bit of direction to it, not totally, but I want to put 2 pieces of the score tape on the bottom flaps of the envelope. So you'll see what I mean in a moment once we put this flap together. So you're going to peel off the release tape. And when you're using this score tape, you want to make sure you've got things where you want them, because this tape is not forgiving. It is an excellent, strong adhesive. So once you have adhered things down, they're down and they're not coming back up, which makes it great for envelopes because it really is secure through the mail. So now you have this great custom envelope that's going to fit your card. So we obviously need some adhesive on this side. I like to proactively put my 2 pieces of adhesive down and then just leave the release paper on them until I am ready to mail the card. That makes it really easy. This tape is actually so strong. My nephews live in Alberta, and whenever they get cards, they're just little. They're 5 and 7. They say, "Oh, the glue is so strong in Ontario," from when they open cards. But I do like to leave the little space on the corner so people can get their fingers in, or a letter opener, and open things easily. So there you have it. There is our finished card with coordinating envelope for Father's Day. This could be for any occasion. I really love using collection packs for card making because they provide you with really easy ways to coordinate things. Those sticker sheets add awesome embellishments, take some of the guesswork out. So it's one of those things where if you don't feel like designing your own card, from scratch, pull out your collection packs. I'm sure you have them for birthdays or Christmas or other holidays, and it's a really great way to celebrate the things in our lives with the people that we love. So give it a try. If you have a moment, please subscribe to the Two Scrapbook Friends YouTube channel. We'd love to have you as subscribers. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and we look forward to seeing you next time.